Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today the topic we are going to discuss is the periodic winds. As you remember, in the previous video we discussed about the permanent winds. We discussed the permanent winds, isn't it? And today we are going to discuss is the periodic winds. Now the difference between the permanent and the periodic winds, let's observe that also. Permanent winds, as the name suggests, isn't it? Like blows in the same direction, blows in the same direction throughout the year, throughout the year. Okay, but here the periodic winds blows in the direction. Okay, blows in the direction, in the different direction, sorry, in the different direction, in the different time of the year. Okay, so here as you can see the differences. Permanent winds in the same direction throughout the year it blows. Okay, it does not change the direction. But here the periodic winds blows in a different directions in a different time of the year, means in the different seasons or in the different time of the year the direction of the winds also changes. Understood? So here that is the main difference between the permanent winds and the periodic winds. Okay. Now let us understand the periodic winds with the help of an example. And the best example of the periodic winds is the monsoonal winds. Okay. Best example is the monsoonal winds. Now monsoonal winds or the monsoon is a term which has been taken from the uh, monsoon, okay, term. It's an Arabic term which mean seasons. Okay, best example of the periodic winds is the monsoon, because during the the summers and during the winters the monsoonal winds change its direction. Okay, so that is the reason it is also termed as a periodic winds also. Now let us see that how the changes of season takes place. First we need to draw the diagram also. Here comes the Tropic of Cancer, which passes through the center of our country and the Indonesian archipelago. Okay, so this one is your Australia. And the Tropic of Capricorn is also passing through the. Mm. Now, as we have learned the apparent movement of the sun, if you remember, students, isn't it? So when the sun is in the equator, the low pressure is forming here, isn't it? But slowly the sun will shift towards the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, solely the Tropic of Cancer, and signing over the Tropic of Cancer, vertically signing over the Tropic of Cancer. Now the low pressure will be developed over the Tropic of Cancer areas in the northern plains of India, isn't it, or the Peshawar of Pakistan and all. Now in that areas the temperature will become very high. As a result, the low pressure is created. Now what happens is, earlier the winds were attracted here in the equatorial areas. Okay, but now the north east and the southeast trade winds will collide here in the Tropic of Cancer, isn't it, if you remember. So here the students, what happened is, the southeast trade winds, okay, which was blowing from Australia towards the Tropic of Cancer or towards the equator. Okay, the southeast trade winds when the sun was here in the equator. Okay, but now the sun is in the Tropic of Cancer, isn't it? So this southeast trade winds, what will happen is it will cross the equator. okay, because it has to reach the low pressure generated area. So this southeast trade winds, when it cross the equator, that means the Coriolis force will be affected on it. As a result, this southeast trade winds will enter the Indian subcontinent because of its deflection towards the right. If you see here, the southeast trade winds are deflected towards the left, but when it cross the equator, isn't it, it will, deflect towards the right. So it enters the India. Okay, so the Indian subcontinent. Okay, now over here, if you noticed, during the summer season in the northern hemisphere, the winds are entering the Indian subcontinent, isn't it? Now these winds are blowing entirely through the water bodies, isn't it, through the Indian Ocean. So it will be carrying lots of moisture in it. And with that moisture laden winds, when it enters India, it will shower a huge amount of rainfall in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so if you see the direction over here during the summer season, during the summer, isn't it? The direction of the winds when it enters India over here, it is from the southwest direction, because it enters India from the southwest, from the states of Kerala. So it is entering the, the direction of the wind is in the southwestern side. Okay, so this is during the summers. Now during the winters, the scenario is again a quite different one. Now, as we know, students, like the apparent movement of the sun during the winters, the sun will no longer remain in the Tropic of Cancer. Gradually, it starts shifting towards the Tropic of Capricorn areas also, isn't it? So, with that, there will be the replacement of the high pressure and the low pressure also. Now, let us observe through this diagram. Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. Okay, now the sun which was shining over here during the summer season, slowly it will start shifting towards the south, isn't it? And it will start shining over the Tropic of Capricorn. Now the low pressure which was forming over here, the low pressure will form over the Australian areas, and the low pressure over here in the Tropic of Cancer will be replaced by the high pressure. Now we know that winds always blow from high pressure to the low pressure. As a result, what happened is the winds will start withdrawing from the Tropic of Cancer, and it will slowly start moving towards the Tropic of Capricorn areas, isn't it? So when it moves towards the Tropic of Capricorn areas, again it will be deflected towards the left in the southern hemisphere. Okay, but here if you see, that time when the sun is over the Tropic of Capricorn, we will be enjoying winters, isn't it? Now in the winters, the wind, when it withdraws from the Indian subcontinent, okay, the wind which is withdrawing from the Indian subcontinent, it will be from the northeast direction. Okay, now here students, if you see here, the periodic winds blows in the different direction in the different time of the year. Means in the summer it is blowing in the southwest direction, and in the winter it is blowing from the northeast direction. Understood? So this is the best example of the occurrence of periodic winds. Now another example is also there, students, that is the land and the sea breeze. Yeah, we have already done those things in the previous years also, like in the previous, years, previous videos also we have done, isn't it? Like the differential heating of the land and water, is it? So the land is opaque, whereas the water is, transparent in nature. So the water takes more time to heat it up, isn't it? And the unequal, we can say, unequal heating of land and water. So the water being transparent, it will take more time to heat it up. Water being opaque, it will take less time. So here during the day, okay, during the day, what happened is the land will be in high pressure, and the sea will be in high pressure, and the land will be in low pressure. As a result, the wind will be blowing from sea towards the land. That is known as sea breeze, isn't it? Now during the night time, when we switch to the night time, when we switches to the night time, okay, what will happen is, now um due to the unequal heating, again the water will retain the heat, whereas the land will quickly radiate back the heat. So as a result, the low pressure will be replaced by the high pressure, and here the high pressure will be replaced by the low pressure. So during the night time, the wind will blow from land towards the sea, isn't it? That is called land breeze. Okay, so here also, if you see, during the different time of the day or the different time of the the year, the winds are flowing from one place to another or in the different directions. So this is also the best example of the periodic winds. Okay, so I hope the periodic winds are clear to you people. Means in the different, it is not fixed, or it is not permanent, isn't it? Like trade winds, westerlies and all, continuously blowing into the same direction throughout the year, steady winds, isn't it? That is the reason we call it. But here in the periodic winds, it blows in a the certain area for a certain period of time. Understood? So it changes its direction. In a similar manner, students, let us discuss the another type of wind is also there, the local winds. Okay, now the local winds, actually the winds which blows in a small area, covers a small area, okay, for a small period of time, small period of time. Okay, now small period of time, it may be for few hours also, it may be for few hours also, or for few days also it could be. Understood? So there are best different like examples of the local winds also. For example, Lu. Okay, then Fohen is also there, isn't it? And Mistral is also there. Okay, so there are many other examples also, like Bora. Okay, Nor'westers. Then we have Santa Ana. So in that way, there are many other list of local winds which prevails only in a small area for a small period of time, unlike the permanent and the periodic winds which cover a huge area. Okay, students, so these are called the local winds. So students, let's discuss some of the local winds also, examples of local winds. For example, Lu. Now Lu is the strong, dusty, gusty, hot and dry summer winds which blows over the western Indo-Gangetic Plain region of India, okay, as well as in Pakistan also it blows. Now it is especially strong in the months of May and June, and due to its very high temperature, around 50 degrees Celsius exposure, it often leads to the fatal heat strokes. Heat strokes means overheating of that areas. Next example is the foehn winds. Okay, now foehn winds occurs in the southern parts of the Alps area, in the European areas. Now here what happened is the moist winds, okay, blowing from the Mediterranean Sea, are forced to rise along the slope of the Alps mountain. Okay, so when it reaches the higher altitude, it will condense, it will cool down, and it will lead to the formation of clouds, and the rainfall will also occur on the windward side. But the air will not remain at the top of the mountain, it will start subsiding or descending down, isn't it? So when it descends downwards, the wind will become warmer. Okay, so these warm winds are known as foehn winds. So several other local winds are also there, like Mistral, Bora, Nor'wester, Santana, etc., which the covers the small area, and that too in the different parts of the world. So students, please do subscribe my channel and also hit the bell icon, because in the next video I will be discussing about the variable winds, that is the cyclone and the anticyclone. Okay, thank you for watching.